6:29 a.m. Hamas started to attack Israel. And at first, it was a missile attack. And you know, for us, it's very usual that every now and then there is a missile attack on Israel. So we didn't give much notice to it. We left it, we cleared the area, and we went to the parking lot, like we've been told to do. But we didn't panic, we didn't run, we didn't do anything, we didn't panic. And we get to the parking lot, and all of my friends, they leave, including Ori Danino, except Maya, Itai, and myself. And I remember we're standing by the car, just waiting until the missiles relax for a bit, so we can go in the vehicle and we start driving. And after maybe an hour or so, I get a phone call from my dad. And he tells me, Omer, it's not only a missile attack, there's also terrorists invading Israel. And even at that moment, I thought to myself, maybe there's 10, 15 terrorists. What could go wrong? But as time goes by, I understand that it's not a usual attack. Suddenly, I find Maya, Itai, and myself running for our lives in this big open field area. I remember as we run, we hear gunshots everywhere, from the west, and the east, and the north, and the south. And we just run for our lives, trying to hide in places. But every place we hide in, we hear more gunshots, and we start to run away again. And I remember as we run, we see thousands of people running, and suddenly some people dropping down to the floor, getting shot. Bodies everywhere. Everywhere. And at some point, after maybe an hour and a half, I get a phone call, and this is an unknown number, and I answer the phone, and it's Ori Danino on the other line. And Ori tells me, Omer, send me your live location, I'm coming to get you. Now, Ori Danino, I've only met him 2 hours before the party. He's a friend of a friend, and he got my number from my friend. And Ori, when the attack started, he left the area, he left the danger zone, he was in the safe zone. He could have gone home, but he decided to come and pick us up, to come and save us. And after maybe half an hour, I see Ori's vehicle. He stops right next to us. Maya and Itai, they go in the back, and I sit right next to him at the passenger side. And we start to drive. And as we drive, I can hear Ori talking on the phone with one of his soldiers. And he tells him, Ori was an officer of the army, and he tells him, get your uniform, get your equipment, I'm coming to get you, we're going to war. So you could see that Ori, even in the most dangerous place, that like any other man who think about it himself, Ori thought about saving us, and thought about saving the country. We keep on driving, and remember we get on the road, and as we get on the road we take a right turn. And as we turn right, I see 2 vehicles of the Hamas, 2 pickup trucks. And I remember immediately as I see them, Ori, as he does everything, he drives and he helps Maya in the back, and he does everything all at once. He screams, everybody down, down, down. Everyone crouches, everyone puts their heads down. And I can tell you that until today, I can still hear those whistles of the bullets going next to my head. Suddenly I hear Maya in the back. She was talking on the phone with her father, and she's screaming, Dad, I've been shot! I've been shot! I'm about to die, I love you! And then I look to the left, and I see Ori is opening the door, and he starts running away. And Ori, he ran away. He survived, and after 3 hours of running away, the Hamas terrorists, they captured him, and Ori was in Hamas captivity for 11 months. And after 11 months, he was murdered by Hamas. And his body was brought back to Israel. He was one of the beautiful 6, with Ersh and Eden. So, I can tell you that I really do believe that Ori, he was my guardian angel. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today. May Ori, may he rest in peace. And I see Ori opening the door, and he's running away. And after maybe 40 seconds, the shooting stops, and then Itai at the back screams, Omer, drive, drive, drive! And I put the car in reverse, And I tried to press the gas pedal with my hand, and luckily for us, the car did not move. And I remember looking up, and I see two terrorists heading to the vehicle. I raise my hands in the air. Both of them are with their rifles, and they're pointing at us. One of them, he comes right next to me, right next to the passenger side, and he starts breaking the window. The other one comes from the driver's side, and he pulls me out from the driver's side. He takes me right in front of their truck. He shoves me to the ground. He starts beating me while I'm on the floor. He spits on me. He puts his leg over my back like this victory position. He ties my hands behind my back. And I remember as he ties my hands behind my back, I lift my head up. And the next thing I can see is their truck tire right in front of me. And I think to myself, wow, this is the way I'm gonna die. They're gonna run me over with a truck. And then I look back to his vehicle, and I see other terrorists grabbing my tie, pulling them out of the vehicle. And I remember looking at my tie's legs. Both of them, they were shot in the legs. And I'm sorry, this is very graphic, okay? I'm warning. I remember looking at Maya's leg, and Maya's leg was hanging on strings of flesh. Until today, Maya is suffering from this injury. She's just been through a 9th surgery a couple of weeks ago, because while she was in Gaza, the what so-called doctors of Hamas, they stitched her leg back on, but they stitched it the other way around. And we were laying there on the floor with our hands tied behind our back for a couple of minutes. And then they pick us up and they load us to the back of the pickup truck. And all the 9 terrorists, they sit right above us, right on top of us. They point their guns to our heads, and we start to drive. And in 5 minutes, we were already inside Gaza. Now, I knew that we entered Gaza not because I could see anything. I couldn't see anything. I saw only the sky. But I could hear. I could hear people shouting and celebrating, shooting in the air. We drive around in Gaza for a couple of minutes, and then the car stops. And suddenly, one of the terrorists, he spoke Hebrew, he tells me, "What's your iPhone passcode?" And I look at him, I was shocked, I couldn't remember anything. I tell him, I have to see the screen to remember. He shows me the screen, he turns the phone to me. And I see my mom, she's calling me, and he hangs up the phone. Now, while I was running in Israel, my sister, she called me, and she tells me, "Omer, send us your live location so we could see where you're going." And my family, they could see me entering Gaza, they could see the point moving towards Gaza, and they tried to warn me, so they called me. But unfortunately, it was already too late. And they take us off the pickup truck, and we get inside this abandoned garage. Over there is this hole in the ground. I was the first one to go down. And I remember there was a terrorist waiting there. He points his gun to my back and he tells me to start walk. And we walk, and then we get inside this room where he lays me on my stomach. He takes off my shoes and my socks, and he mocks me in some sort of ways. And after a couple of minutes, Maya and Itai, they come inside the room. And I remember looking at Maya and Itai. I see them, both of them, injured, and I wanted to help them so badly.